Life is full of things to manage. Your work, your family, your plans, and your treatment. Consider Kesimpta, ofatumumab 20 milligram injection. You can take it yourself from the comfort of home. If you're ready for something different, ask your healthcare provider about Kesimpta and check out the details at kesimpta.com. Brought to you by Novartis Pharmaceuticals Corporation.
And with us right now is Charlie Gasparino. Charlie, Janet Yellen says the economy is great. What say you?
Well, if it's so great, why are average Americans being polled saying it's horrible? This is the gaslighting that the left has been doing for so long. We don't have an open border, right? Kamala is really good on policy, by the way. She's amazing. She just, doesn't like talking about it, but she's great. The economy is just killing it. And inflation is down. And it's down so much that average Americans keep complaining they can't afford the basics. I mean, do you see what they're doing is reprehensible? Oh, I forgot. Joe Biden is doing one-arm push-ups in the Oval.
Charlie.
60. And by the way, figuring out the New York Times crossword puzzle every day, every minute of the day.
60 Minutes. What was done last night. Does Donald Trump get equal time?
I mean, they probably will give him equal time. I don't think he should take it because they're not going to do a fair interview. I mean, last time I remember Leslie Stahl interrupted him 30 times, asked stupid stuff about Russia, which didn't happen, as we all know. I mean, it's just at this point, I kind of agree with him not doing any more debates. At this point, I don't think he gains anything out of it because they're going to be skewed against him. And, he's hanging in there. And, who knows what's going to – I mean, I think the public, as they get unfiltered news about Kamala Harris, how she's doesn't answer questions, how she doesn't know anything, how she's just landed on their doorstep and is just talking gibberish half the time. I don't think she did herself any favors by going to Oprah. It's interesting. She went to Oprah, but as I broke the story, she didn't go to the Al. She's not going to the Al Smith dinner.
Right.
I think the Al Smith dinner would have done if she went and acted halfway normal. That could have pushed her over the top, because at the Oprah thing, she just let her guard down. Even though Oprah, did a softball interview, Kamala Harris sounded like an imbecile. I mean, if you just listened to her, it was pathetic stuff.
Charlie, what do you mean sounded like?
Excuse me? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Judge Weinberg chiming in there.
I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. I don't know what's going on in her brain cell.
Oh, Peter King.
Yeah, and Charlie, this is Pete King. First of all, always great to have you on. What you're saying, I think, is totally accurate. Like the polls have shown the last few days, even the New York Times is saying that Trump is picking up support in the battleground states. And this is after she had a good performance in her debate, after Trump has made numerous unforced errors. The fact is that Trump is gaining. People, I think, are starting to see, and the more she's out there, even though it's all soft stuff, even that's hurting. I mean, I think it almost hurt her being on Oprah. I think the fact that she's skipping Al Smith, I agree with you. That is such a tradition in New York, and that would have shown what a good sport she is. She'd be up there. It may not be considered, a friendly crowd, but she came up, she told a few jokes. She was happy with herself. That would have been great for her. But she doesn't have the guts, I don't think, or the brains.
That's the only thing I could conclude, unless the Democratic Party is so anti-Catholic that she can't show up to something like this. It's also now anti-Jewish. Imagine the Democratic Party is both anti-Jewish and anti-Catholic.
And they were the two bases going back years ago. I mean, it was a Catholic party. Certainly they've been stalwart supporters of the Jews, and now they turned on both.
I'm old enough to remember the old New York saying, the three I's: Israel, Italy, and Ireland.
Right.
and African Americans, made up the sort of base of the Democratic Party. It's gone now. I mean, it's done. I mean,
how did they get invaded? It's so stupid. They got invaded, and there's still the crazy Democrats are pushing away the common sense Democrats.
Listen, AOC. I don't know. I know so many Democrats out there that can't stand AOC. I'm not saying, but they say they hate Trump. He's too nasty. He's too this. And I'm saying, but think about who you're turning the party over. You're literally turning the party over to the American version of Hamas with AOC, all these other Looney Tunes. I mean, they are really sick people. and they're imbeciles. I mean, AOC is just, if you listen to her for more than 5 minutes, she might be good at marketing herself.
She's a good bartender.
Listen, we both are proud graduates of Yorktown Heights High School, just so you know. Full disclosure.
Charlie, I'm not going to say two of the
I
kinds.
lost a lot of money at that Yorktown Heights supermarket.
Yeah, listen, I haven't, I don't go back much. That's my hometown. And by the way, they're glad not to see me. Trust me. Given all the trouble I used to cause when I was a kid. But, I will just say that this is a person that, the AOC is, the AOC deserves a bigger, a sort of deep dive into who she is, because I know from Yorktown, she didn't go by AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She was Sandy Cortez for many years.
Oh, very interesting. We'll have to look into Sandy Cortez.
And in the state of Illinois, Barack Obama was Barry Obama.
He's the same thing,
Charlie, big question. I understand, and he's a good friend. Brian Moynihan, the CEO of Bank of America, is going on the Brown board, or the Brown, becoming chancellor of the Brown.
Chancellor Brown board.
Which means he's going to be Emperor of Brown.
Well, he's not my good friend, just so you know.
Okay.
He's your good friend.
Well, we all have. Now, why is he doing that? Because I haven't talked to him in a month or so. Why is he doing that? And they're going to vote. They have a $6 billion fund, and they're going to vote if they should cut out Israel.
Yeah, it's one of the most. Listen, if you read my book, Go Woke, Go Broke, you'll know, and I basically devote a chunk of it to corporate wokeness as it applies to Wall Street, including Bank of America. He's maybe among the most woke CEOs around there. I mean, he opposed a North Carolina law that prevented men using the women's room if they're trans men. I mean, just a lot of stupid stuff. And you just go through the book. He encouraged his employees in Charlotte to take a 21-day racial equity challenge to weed out their inherent racism and white fragility. And then he takes his job as chancellor right when he knows they're going to vote to divest from Israel. And it caused one board member to quit, which is probably what he should do if he had half a brain and, any sort of conscience. I mean, just think what they're doing. They are legitimizing the complete nonsensical claims of a bunch of radicals on campus. They agreed to put this up to a vote. So they basically negotiated with terrorists, put this up for a vote if the radicals would stop their anti-Israel protesting and encampments. So we put something stupid up to a vote. It's hard to get my arms around because it's so dumb. We put it up to a vote that divest from Israel because Israel defended itself against one of the worst terrorist attacks ever, killing more than 1,000 people, and now we're gonna to appease the lunatics who think that's justified. Let's put it up to a vote. And by the way, me as the head of the second biggest bank, I'm going to lead. I'm going to be chairing that session.
Well, I hope he makes. Look, I know him. He's a decent guy. He's from Boston originally, which makes him a little bit left. And I hope he makes the right decision on Israel.
I don't think he is. I think he's an imbecile for taking this up. There's one guy. John.
Yeah, we just have a few seconds left, Charlie. Go ahead.
One guy on the board said I'm not going to be part of this. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, it's a crazy. We'll keep us posted, Charlie, please. We love having you on. Charlie Gasparino, thank you. Charlie, go woke, go broke. Thank you very much.